Good morning to everyone. Welcome back to a new week, even though it's a Tuesday. The week had just started yesterday. And welcome to Neetu's Academy with one more live session. This is Anne with you. And being a Tuesday today, we are going forward with our listening ACUITY live. Today we are going to deal with a few listening questions, like we'll take a section and deal with 10 questions from that particular section. Solve it, listen to the audio first, solve it, and then we'll get it evaluated, right? Why this particular question has got this answer. That is what we do, and that is how you have to practice also, because listening is when you going for the listening test itself, there you are getting audio clips and you listen to them, and then you answer the few questions which are given to you. Few means 40 questions which you have to answer. 10 questions for one section, so it's 4 sections, right? So that is how you answer, and as per that, your whatever marks you get out of the 40, how much ever answers you have got correct, that particular number is converted into a band score. So that raw score which you have out of 40, that is converted into a raw score. So you should make sure that if you're aiming for a 7.58, 8.59, you should always aim above 8. You should have at least more than 37 or 37 plus answers correct to get that particular band, right? And which is always good when it comes to listening. With practice you can achieve it. Listening is that one module which is with practice you can get a good band, but without practice you'll be like going blank, which won't be suggested, right? So today also we are taking, last session, in our last live session we had taken a new test paper, and from that we had solved section 1, right? 10 questions from section 1. We are going to take section 2 today, and section 2 again 10 questions from that. So we'll see what type of questions we have. Like we have almost 10 to 11 type of questions in listening, and the most common ones are note completions, complete the note or complete the form. Multiple choice questions are there. We have got a lot of MCQ questions which I already told, single and multiple answers. We have got maps also, which should not be ignored, because occasionally those questions also become a part of your question sheet, right? So let's see what we are dealing with today. But before going to the questions, we'll first listen to the audio. After a couple of seconds you can listen to the audio and you'll get the questions on the screen, so you can solve at the same time, right? So let's listen to the audio and then come back with the questions.
You will hear the chairman of the Highways Committee of Granford speaking to members of the public about proposed changes to traffic and parking in the area. First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 13. Now listen carefully and answer questions 11 to 13.
Good evening, everyone. My name's Phil Sutton, and I'm Chairman of the Highways Committee. We've called this meeting to inform members of the public about the new regulations for traffic and parking we're proposing for Granford. I'll start by summarising these changes before we open the meeting to questions. So, why do we need to make these changes to traffic systems in Granford? Well, we're very aware that traffic is becoming an increasing problem. It's been especially noticeable with the increase in heavy traffic while they've been building the new hospital. But it's the overall rise in the volume of traffic of all kinds that's concerning us. To date, there's not been any increase in traffic accidents, but that's not something we want to see happen, obviously. We recently carried out a survey of local residents, and their responses were interesting. People were very concerned about the lack of visibility on some roads due to cars parked along the sides of the roads. We'd expected complaints about the congestion near the school when parents are dropping off their children or picking them up. But this wasn't top of the list, and nor were noise and fumes from trucks and lorries, though they were mentioned by some people. We think these new traffic regulations would make a lot of difference, but we still have a long way to go. We've managed to keep our proposals within budget, so they can be covered by the council. But of course it's no good introducing new regulations if we don't have a way of making sure that everyone obeys them. And that's an area we're still working on with the help of representatives from the police force.
Before you hear the rest of the talk, you have some time to look at questions 14 to 20. Now listen and answer questions 14 to 20.
OK, so this slide shows a map of the central area of Granford with the High Street in the middle and School Road on the right. Now, we already have a set of traffic lights in the High Street at the junction with Station Road, but we're planning to have another set at the other end at the School Road junction to regulate the flow of traffic along the High Street. We've decided we definitely need a pedestrian crossing. We considered putting this on School Road just outside the school, but in the end we decided that could lead to a lot of traffic congestion. So we decided to locate it on the High Street, crossing the road in front of the supermarket. That's a very busy area, so it should help things there. We're proposing some changes to parking. At present, parking isn't allowed on the High Street outside the library, but we're going to change that and allow parking there, but not at the other end of the High Street near School Road. There'll be a new no parking sign on School Road just by the entrance to the school, forbidding parking for 25 metres. This should improve visibility for drivers and pedestrians, especially on the bend just to the north of the school. As far as disabled drivers are concerned, at present they have parking outside the supermarket, but lorries also use those spaces, so we've got 2 new disabled parking spaces on the side road up towards the bank. It's not ideal, but probably better than the present arrangement. We also plan to widen the pavement on School Road. We think we can manage to get an extra half metre on the bend just before you get to the school, on the same side of the road. Finally, we've introduced new restrictions on loading and unloading for the supermarket, so lorries will only be allowed to stop there before 8 a.m. That's the supermarket on School Road. we kept to the existing arrangements with the high street supermarket. OK, so that's about it. Now, would it...
That is the end of section 2.
Right. Okay, so that was the audio, right, which we listened to, and as I mentioned earlier, it was from section, the questions for the audio was based on questions from section 2. Okay, now on your screen you can see the questions which we are going to solve one by one, right. Now this is from section 2 and they had questions from 11 to 20, right. So there are two types of questions here. You can see from questions 11 to 13 it is choose the correct answer, that is multiple choice, and it is a single answer because they have written choose the correct letter A, B or C. So if it is multiple answer, they will definitely tell you in the instructions that choose more than one, choose 2 or 3 or 4, how much ever options they will ask, that much you have to choose. This is single answer questions and they will always have a title, right. So it is here all the 3 questions statements which are mentioned here for which you have to choose one option are based on the traffic changes in Granford, right. That is what it is all about, the whole audio was about. So there are 3 questions based on that. Then you can see from questions 14 to 20 another set of questions, that is label the map below. So they have given you a map, write the correct letters A to I, right, between A to I next to questions 14 to 20, right. And then there is a title which says proposed traffic changes in Granford. So what changes they are going to bring? So here it was actually traffic changes and then it is proposed changes, right, and then you can see a map which is given, right. So we will come to it and then you can see a few options given here like questions 14 to 20. You have to say which of these proposed changes are where to be located in this map, that is you are going to label that in that manner, right. Okay, so we'll start from the beginning. The first set of questions from 11 to 13, it is MCQ multiple choice questions, right. First, let's take one by one. The first question says, why are changes needed to traffic systems in Granford? So you are looking for a reason because the question is why. Why are the changes needed to traffic system in Granford? So what is the need of this change? So you are looking for your answer will be the reason, okay, the main reason behind the changes which are needed in Granford. And the options given to you are the number of traffic accidents has risen, that can be a reason. The amount of traffic on the roads has increased, even that can be a reason. Or the types of vehicles on the roads have changed. So because of either these reasons, they are proposing, they want a change in the traffic system, right. And when you go to the audio, you should never go to the audio blank. So what are you, when you look at the question, you should know first of all what are the reasons for the changes, right, the changes which are going to be needed in the traffic systems, right. Now this is going to be there in your audio repeatedly because this is what the this is the place where these changes are going to come, right, even the proposed changes or the wanted changes. So you are looking for reasons connected to changes in the traffic systems. So traffic system is your keyword and change, right, maybe synonymously they will give you and then you have to look out for your answer in that particular part of the audio. So let's see. So since we have already played the audio, we'll go to the audio script and find out what is the answer for the same. So it is section 2, right, it is going to be a monologue based on general context. So it says, good evening everyone, my name is Phil Sutton and I am chairman of the Highways Committee. We have called this meeting to inform members of the public about the new regulations for traffic and parking we are proposing for Granford. I'll start by summarizing these changes before we open the meeting to questions. So this is all an opening, all the distractors, you're getting time to get a breather and get acquainted with the audio and the questions. So why do we need to make these changes in traffic systems in Granford? Why do we need to make these changes? This is what you're looking for. The moment you hear this part in the audio, be alert because you know anyways the whole when the till the audio is completed, you have no choice but be alert. You cannot lose your focus, because losing your focus means you are missing out on answers which may give you 1 mark, right, for each question. So the moment you hear the speaker telling that why do we need these changes, we are looking for that, the reason why these changes are required in Granford, right? So question mark, and then say, well, we are very aware that traffic is becoming an increasing problem. So you have to listen to the audio very carefully, mark down some reasons, right, and then select the correct reason. So we are very aware that traffic is becoming an increasing problem. So traffic is becoming an increasing problem, right? Now that is a problem which is increasing. It's been especially noticeable with the increase in heavy traffic. So again he is telling there is an increase in heavy traffic. Traffic as a problem, the whole as a problem is increasing, and when it comes to type of traffic, there's an increase in heavy traffic, right? While they have been building the new hospital. Now the traffic increase has happened because there is a construction going on of the new hospital, right? But it's now, but like I have always repeated previously also, but and however is one linker which is very common in listening. The moment you hear that key, the linker, you should be knowing that your previous sentences are disqualified, right? And the sentence which is going to come after but, it can be a reason, it can be an opinion, or whatever it is, right? Whatever is going to come, that is going to gain more importance. That will be most probably your answer. That is what the linkers specify. So here, but it's the overall rise in the volume of traffic of all kinds that's concerning us, right? So in this one part, in this much which he has spoken, which has come down, and the audio script has 4 lines, there are 3 reasons mainly he is giving. First is mainly the whole traffic as a problem is increasing, right? Then secondly he says that there is an increase in heavy traffic, right? Thirdly, he says that there is an overall rise in the volume of traffic of all kinds. Previously, they told heavy traffic, then they are telling all kinds of traffic is on a rising mode, right? That's concerning us. To date, there has not been any increase in traffic accidents, but that's not something we want to see happen, obviously. So, out of these reasons, just because of that linker but, your answer is the overall rise in the volume of traffic of all kinds that's concerning us. This is your answer. But you have to do the options and choose, right? Because in the options you have got 3 choices, sorry. You can see the number of traffic accidents that they give towards the end, right? But they are telling in a contradictory way. To date, there has been no increase in traffic accidents. There's not an increase in traffic accidents, but that's not something we cannot ignore, right? That is not a choice, because they specifically say there is not, right now there is not increase. The amount of traffic on the roads has increased. Then they say, that is mentioned, amount of traffic has increased on the roads. They say types of vehicles on the roads have changed. Now this is not mentioned anywhere. They are telling about heavy vehicles and all, heavy traffic of heavy vehicles, but they are not telling about any change. Yes, the amount of traffic on the roads has increased. That is, all kinds of vehicles are creating a traffic, and that is concerning them. So the main reason why they are going for the changes is B. The amount of traffic on the roads has increased, right? So that will be your answer for 11. That is option B. Okay, I hope that is clear. Fine. Going to the second question. In a survey, local residents particularly complained about. So there has been some objection, there has been some complaint from the local residents. They have expressed their, they dislike about something. So it is about whom? It is local residents, and it is about a survey. Okay, some survey was conducted, some research was conducted, and the local residents, they particularly means specifically, right? When you take out one particular thing, okay, specifically complained about something. So you're looking, the keywords are the local residents, they specifically complained about something, and this all happened in a survey, right? So any of these words are a part of the audio, that's where somewhere near to that your answer will be there, right? The options are Dangerous driving by parents. So the key word here is look for parents, right? Pollution from trucks and lorries. So that is again a noun, trucks and lorries, and that is pollution created by them. Inconvenience from parked cars. So because of the parked vehicles, especially parked four-wheelers, cars, there is an inconvenience to the local residents. They are finding it uncomfortable, right? So what first is either the rash driving or dangerous driving by parents. Second is pollutions by trucks and lorries, or maybe it is the inconvenience the local residents are facing because of the cars which are parked, right? So let's see which is the correct answer. Now when we go to the audio script, you can see we have read till here. We recently carried out a survey. So here is the key word, survey of local residents. The moment you hear that, you know that is the part. We recently carried out a survey of local residents and their responses were interesting. Okay, so their responses means their responses can be positive and negative, and here we are looking for one complaint, which is a negative thing. People were very concerned about the lack of visibility on some roads, that is either not able to view properly, right? Lack of visibility on some roads due to what? Due to cars parked along the sides of the roads. Okay, now you have already got an option there, right? So keep it in your backup and then go to the, you will listen to that part of the audio a bit, because that is, if it is ending there it's fine, but you can see we had expected complaints about the congestion near the school when the parents are dropping off their children or picking them up. So parents, that word is coming in that audio, them up, but this wasn't top of the list. So but again you can see here, but this wasn't top of the list. And nor were noise and fumes from trucks and lorries. Now this is, fumes are again pollution, right? Noise is again, that is not mentioned, they are mentioned about pollution only. So noise and fumes from trucks and lorries is mentioned. Nor means neither, right? Even that is not a problem, right? Along with the parents driving and picking up their children, though they were mentioned by some of the people, by some people. So the people had mentioned all these three reasons why they were facing all these three were the complaints raised by the people. The people had, the local residents had the objection regarding all these three things. First is the lack of visibility because of the cars parked, right, on the side of the roads. But then the people who had taken the survey, they had expected them to say that maybe the parents who drop off their children and pick them up from there, they drive rashly, but that was not there. And nor were the pollution problems from trucks and lorries. So your correct answer is lack of visibility happens because of the cars parked along the sides of the road. And we have an option there, which was option C, if I am not wrong. You can see inconvenience from parked cars. So that is your correct option. So answer for 12 will be C, option C. Going forward, according to the speaker, one problem with the new regulations will be, so the speaker is telling, according to the speaker, one, if new regulations are brought up, there is going to be one problem, there is going to be one issue, right? One obstacle or one hurdle with the new regulation will be, what is it? Raising money to pay for them. So raising money to pay for the changes, which are regulations which are going to come, money, finance, finding a way to make people follow it, how to make the people obey those rules on regulations. That you have to find out a way out to or maybe a solution to make the people obey those rules and regulations. Second, that is connected to people, right? So people, maybe they have mentioned as residents or as individuals or whatever, right? Third is getting the support of the police. So next is the law and order. So getting the support of the police is another, it can be a issue. So either finance can be an issue. Secondly, making the people follow those rules and regulations, or maybe the support which they may not get from the police can be, if the police is not supporting, they feel that is going to be an issue. So okay, so let's go to the audio script and you can, okay. We think these new traffic regulations would make a lot of difference, but we still have a long way to go. We have managed to keep our proposals within budget just so they can be covered by the council. But of course, so that means we have managed to keep our proposals within the budget. Budget is always connected to finance. So if I say I have got a 100 rupee budget to spend my day, that means I have got 100 rupees with me which I am going to spend for this day, which I can. So your budget is finance. That means they have covered it up because we have managed to keep our proposals within the budget. So there's no financial problem for them, right? Just so they can be covered by the council. So council is providing that, they're sponsoring it. But of course, it's no good introducing new regulations if we don't have a way of making sure that everyone obeys them. Now this everyone is people who are connected to it, because we had mentioned in that previously. It's no good introducing these rules and regulations if we don't have a way to making sure that everyone obeys them. And that's an area we are still working on with the help of representatives from the police force. That means they are getting a help from the police force. So they have a support. Now help is synonymous to support, right? When you help someone, you are supporting someone, right? That means budget is not a problem, finance is not a problem for them, and police law and order is not a problem for them. Both are okay for them. That means the problem will be if the people are not ready to follow or obey those rules. So we can see obeys here, that means is synonymous to follow. When you obey somebody, you're following their instructions, right? So that means your option for that particular question is, correct option is B, finding a way to make the people follow them, right? So that is your correct option, right? So that completes our multiple choice questions. Not difficult. If you have to got the correct keywords and if you don't lose your focus, it won't be that difficult to get multiple choice questions, especially single answers, right? Okay, now going forward, we have got the second set of questions, questions 14 to 20, that is label the map below. Like I told, a question which can be definitely expected. You cannot ignore it by telling that it won't be a part of it. It can be, and you have to be alert when you're going through a map, because in map you have to find out locations. If you lose your focus, it will be a problem for you. Now here you can see the map is all about proposed traffic changes in Grandford. So whatever the changes they are going to bring, how they are going to put it down in that city, it is expressed through a map. You can see a compass here which says north, south, west and east, right? Sometimes some positions can be, if you mention the locations, they can say northeast, southeast. Southeast will be between south and east. And similarly, you can be alert. So compass really helps you to understand the directions, right? Then you can see in a map, always make sure about the labels which have already given to you. The labels which you have to find out, that you can get the help from the audio. But the labels which are already in your map, that is definitely helpful, because those will be mentioned in your audio clip as, you can say, landmarks, or maybe it can be your keywords or directions which can be used, right? So you can see here there's a bank. Okay, if bank is mentioned, if you can see here C is just near to opposite to the bank. So if you're looking out for C option, what is C option, then definitely bank will be mentioned in your audio for telling you the direction or the location, right? Similarly, you can see some roads here. There is one school road here, right? There is one station road here. You can see a high street which is mentioned here, right? And then you have got a chemist shop, right? And then you have got a chemist, you have got a library here, right? And the school is here. This is a school road and school is mentioned here, right? Then one more thing, you can see there are two supermarkets. One supermarket is on the high street and one is on the school road. So these are your actually landmarks to let you know if you're getting confused between which supermarket. We can see, because supermarket, next to supermarket which is on school road, you have got an option which you have to find out IA. So definitely that will help you. That is a supermarket on the school road. Similarly, for this supermarket also, you can see there is, in this road you have got D and E, and supermarket is just opposite to D, right? So these things are definitely going to help you. So before you listen to the audio clip, be aware of these some words which are going to definitely be a part of your audio, right? Maybe not all of them, but maximum of them will be there as a part of your audio. So we have got bank, we have got chemist, library, supermarket, two supermarkets, school, and around 2 roads and 1 street, right? That is what it is, right? Now let's see what are the options, locations which we have to find out, not locations, the changes, right? We are looking for new traffic lights, where are they going to be installed? We are looking for the pedestrian crossing, okay, maybe they have changed or included one. We are going to look out for location where parking is allowed. We are going to tell where no parking sign is to be placed or will be placed. We are looking for new disabled parking spaces, places where parking won't be allowed. We are looking for pavements which are going to be widened, right? And then we are looking for lorry loading unloading restrictions. So where is a place where these restrictions are going to come, where lorries can unload and load their goods. So these are the there are 6 of them, sorry, we have got 7 of them which you have to mark on the, we have got 7 changes which we have to mark on the map. Okay, so we'll take one by one. When you listen to the audio, you'll be come to know. Now whatever these options are given like spread across, when the audio will be accordingly, so you will have 14, 15, 16 be in order, right? Accordingly, wherever you get, these questions will be in the order in the audio clip. That is what listening is like. So let's go to the audio script. We have read till the police force. Now, okay, so this slide shows a map of the central area of Cranford. Now, anyways, when you're listening to the audio, you have a break, because the first part of the audio will tell you about the questions from 11 to 13, right? And the second part of the audio, when they will play, it will be giving you details about questions from 14 to 20, right? Okay, so this slide shows a map of the central area of Cranford with the high street in the middle and the school road on the right. Now, we already have a set of traffic lights in the high street at the junction with Station Road. We are looking for, you can see here, new traffic lights. You can see here. So the part says, now we already have a set of traffic lights where? In the high street. So like I told, the things which are mentioned in the map is going to help you. It is in the high street, where? At the junction with the Station Road, right? That is already, we are having that. We are looking for proposed changes, but we are planning to have another set at the other end, at the school road junction, to regulate the flow of traffic along the high street, right? So we are planning to have another set. So we are looking for the new set which is going to be implemented, where? At the other end, at the school road junction. Now you can see here, and they have mentioned here what? Flow traffic along the high street. You can see here, yeah, you can see here high street, and you can see junction is from a location from wherein 2-3 roads are going, right? You can see this is a school road and this is the high street. The junction is coming somewhere here, and the traffic lights will be always on the roads or the streets, right? It is not going to be somewhere else, right? So you can see the school road and the high street. The junction will be somewhere here, right? So that is what that is where the new traffic lights are going to be placed, right? So your option, your answer for 14 will be E. Okay, that is what you write on your answer sheet. Okay, next is pedestrian crossing. Crossing where people who walk, pedestrians are people who walk on the road. How can they cross their streets? So we have decided we definitely need a pedestrian crossing, right? So we are looking for that. We considered putting this on school road. Now this is we considered. We considered means we thought about it. Putting this on the school road, and you can see in school road there are some markings just outside the school. Now you can see just outside the school, you can see the school is here, and somewhere here you can see an option G. So if you immediately take listen to the audio and decide that okay, G is going to be the pedestrian crossing, that is going to be the pedestrian crossing, if you decide on that, without losing the focus, you can see towards after that they are telling, but in the end, now here it is we considered, but in the end we decided. So decision is a final thing, right, where the change has to come. We decided that could lead to a lot of traffic congestion, so we decided to locate it on the high street, crossing the road in front of the supermarket. So they thought about building the pedestrian crossing on the high street, crossing the road in front of the supermarket, right? That's a very busy area, so it should help things there. Now you have got two things, high street and supermarket. When you look at previously, when we had seen, we had two supermarkets for there. One is on high street and one is on school road. So here specifically that it's on the high street. Opposite to supermarket is what? This is D. So that is your pedestrian crossing. Okay, so that will cover up your answer for 15th. Yeah, that is D. Next, is parking allowed? Now which is that space where parking will be allowed? Okay, now we go forward. Okay, fine. We are proposing, now here one more thing I would like to say, that they are selling in front of the supermarket, right? That means one more thing they are telling, crossing the road, because next to supermarket you can see chemist also. Chemist is also, D is also opposite to chemist, right? But supermarket, when you cross, you go to other side of the road, it is opposite to supermarket, right? Okay, we are proposing some changes to parking. At present, parking isn't allowed on the high street, right? Outside the library. So this is your Q, library. Outside the library, allowed. It is not allowed on the high street. Isn't allowed, not allowed on the high street, outside the library. But we are going to change that. But right now, outside the library, parking is not allowed. But we are going to change it and allow parking there. So now your Q was library. Just look for library. You can see the library is here, right? And here you can see location B, which is on high street. Here parking was not allowed, but now they are going to allow the parking. So this is your answer, B. Okay, so B will be parking allowed. Okay, so that is your answer for parking allowed. Okay, fine. Going forward, we are looking for a new parking sign, new no parking sign. A sign of no parking to be placed where? A new one. Okay, going forward, yes, there will be a new no parking sign. Clear, it is mentioned in your audio. Sign on where? On school road. Sign on the school road, just by the entrance to the school. So there is entrance to the school somewhere, wherever the school entrance is, just by the entrance. The entrance il thanne. Forbidding parking for 25 meters. This should improve visibility for drivers and pedestrians, especially on the bend just to the north of the school. Very simple, because you're looking for entrance of the school, and we could definitely see the school here. Okay, an entrance will be definitely this, and here is only one label, which is G. So that makes it easier for you. So the option for no parking sign is new no parking sign is G. Okay, next, new disabled parking spaces. So spaces where parking won't be allowed, right? That we are looking for. And when we go forward, okay, as far as disabled, okay, this is for disabled drivers. As far as disabled drivers are concerned, at present they have parking outside the supermarket, but lorries also use those spaces. So we have got two new disabled parking spaces on the side road up towards the bank, right? So here they are telling it as specifically for disabled drivers, people who are disabled. For them at present they have a parking outside the supermarket. We have got two supermarkets, but lorries also use those spaces, right? So we have got two new disabled parking spaces on the side road up towards the bank. Your Q is bank, right? On the side road up towards the bank. It's not ideal, but probably better than the present arrangement. So wherever the bank is, you have to look for that. Bank is here, right? This is your bank. right? And next to that there's only one label, right? Next to the bank you can see it is C. So that makes it easier for you to choose. So that is where the new parking spaces for disabled are going to come. So that is your answer, which is C. Okay. 19. Widened pavement. Where when the pavements, footpaths are going to be widened, right? Which is that area where the pavements are going to be widened. Okay. We also plan to widen the pavement on school road, right? We think we can manage to get an extra half meter on the bench just before you get to the school on the same side of the road. Okay, so before you get to the school, whichever side the school is, on the same side of the road, we also plan to widen the pavement on school road. So here you can see this is the school. The school is on this side, right now, and you can see on the same side of the road you can see option H. There's nothing else over there, right? I is near to supermarket, so next near to the school it's H. So H is what is your answer for widened pavements. Okay, so that completes that. Last one is lorry loading unloading restrictions. So for that you can see finally we have introduced new restrictions on loading and unloading for the supermarket, right? We have got 2 supermarkets, so lorries will only be allowed to stop there before 8 a.m. That's the supermarket on school road, so that is your Q, right? We kept to the existing arrangements with the high street supermarket. So that's about it. Now wooden. So here you can see the changes which are going to come about lorry unloading restrictions and all, that is going to be for the supermarket on the school road. The existing arrangements are kept.